This special meeting of the Morgantown Utility Board for Tuesday, November 12th will come to order. Special.
It's special because we had a holiday and we
messed up the calendar.
The
Notice
period. So we call it a special meeting.
All right. So we have first item of business, minutes of the October 8th meeting. You had a chance to read those. Any corrections or objections?
I move to approve the minutes of the superbly chaired regular meeting of October 8th, 2024 as submitted.
Indeed, and we appreciate the substitution.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
With reservation.
Yeah, they don't
Which
even
part?
put that part in.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Oh, let me think about it. All right, motion approved. Public portion. Do we have anyone, any letters, any phone calls, anything we need to know about? No. Okay, no one is here. All right, new business.
Okay, the University Avenue Development Sanitary Sewer Project. This is actually a new development that's going in sort of across from the Village Butcher there on the Circle K convenience store side. So we had a bid opening on November 7th. The work includes the construction of 91 feet of 10-inch PVC and 1,054 feet of 8-inch PVC gravity sewer line, 12 manholes, 40 feet of 16-inch steel casing by Warren Jack, and all other related appurtenances. The low bidder was Parada Paving in the amount of $175,927.50. We recommend the board approve the bid.
Okay, may I have
I move to approve the bid from Parada Paving in the amount of $175,927.50 for the University Avenue Development Sanitary Sewer Project.
any questions? All in favor say aye.
I'll second.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you got your way. All right, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Whole business.
Okay, the Cheat Lake Wastewater Treatment Plant and Collection System Upgrade Project. As you will recall, we opened bids on October the 22nd. The low bid was submitted by Mealy & Mealy and Sons in the amount of $39,630,000. However, the engineer's estimate, including contingency, was $30,859,400. So on October the 23rd, we had a meeting with the West Virginia Water Development Authority and the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection to discuss the bid overrun and to seek guidance on how to proceed. We were advised at that time that very little grant dollars would be available to backfill the overbid, and that their suggestion was that we needed to go back and look at the project and see what we could take out through the value engineering process, where we look at all the different aspects of the project and where could we save money. Now, we had already bid the Whites Run lift station as an alternative, so that came off the top. Rich, that was about $2 million right off at the top. So through this process, multiple meetings working with the contractor and the engineer, we finally have been able to bring the project down to where we could go back to West Virginia Water Development Authority, and they agreed to provide us with another $1.3 million in grant dollars. So we have over $8 million now in grant funding for this project, and they're the ARPA dollars.
Wow.
And so we're very pleased. So we did have to raise the SRF loan, but we don't have to do anything about the rates, because the rates that we proposed that City Council passed will cover the debt service and the O&M. So the SRF loan will now be $33,800,000. The ARPA grant is $8,050,000. Our DEP protection grant is $500,000, and our IJDC grant, that's West Virginia Infrastructure and Jobs Development Council, we were able to obtain $165,000. Now that may change. WDA may convert that into ARPA. They did mention that to us, that was a possibility, but until that happens, we just leave it as IJDC. And then the MUB contribution is $3,535,147. And I realize these changed somewhat from the read ahead is because we just finished up the final values with the contractor. These were all the estimated values at the time we put the read ahead together, for a total of $46,050,147. So the contract amount, with the alternate being deducted, White's Run Lift Station, and all the other items that we deducted from the project cost now is, their contract is $36,038,742.
36 million,
36 million.
38,000
$732.
742.
Oh, 740.
Yes. So that is the total contract cost with Mealy and Sons. And so we have a good project. We think some of the items we may be able to get back into the project as we go along, because we do have contingency dollars. Mm-hmm. And so if those dollars are not used up for any other purpose, that we have those dollars available.
I'm assuming the $8,050,000 that we are very, very happy to be receiving, thank you to the WDA, those will be the first dollars spent.
Yes.
And so that if the contingency money will be coming out of the SRF loan.
SRF and the dollars that we generate throughout. The rates go into effect on November the 29th, and so the rates will be in effect for a 2-year period before the debt service starts. So that cash will be available. So we kind of look at that as the last money.
Okay, great.
MUB portion, excuse me.
A lot of money and a lot of changes. You got to keep up with it.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, a lot of changes, a lot of time has been spent by the staff and by Strand and from the contractor. So it's a lot of hard work. So we have, and we've passed out some additional motions that are going to have to go along with the first motion to approve the bid, accept the bid from Mealy, and I'll let Jeff explain those.
So the two additional motions relate to essentially the closing of the transaction, which the first one being we're required to have our first draw ready to go at the time of closing. So there's a resolution approving our first draw, which is a little over $3 million. And then a sweep resolution, which is standard. All of our bond payments are swept automatically out of an account by the West Virginia Municipal Bond Council. So there's a resolution just updating that for the new bonds.
Okay, so that commits it to paper, and everybody has that information, so it's very clear.
Yes.
Okay. So essentially, we have 3 motions. The first one being related to Mealy. So, do I have a motion?
I move to accept the bid from Mealy and Sons in the amount of $36,038,742 for the construction upgrades and expansion of the Cheat Lake wastewater treatment plant.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion?
I was just going to ask, have we used Mealy and Sons for projects before?
No. Our first one.
And are you familiar with them in terms of what work
we did
done?
require them to submit a qualifications statement, basically, but it's multiple pages of them providing us with, project examples and financial statements, and that way we can get familiar with them. It's clear that they've done this size of projects countless times, and even bigger projects. So we were comfortable after receiving that info.
Are they regional?
Yeah, they're north of Pittsburgh, and Braddock, North Braddock. Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Congratulations to you guys on working with the WDA, and so many thanks to them for coming in with not only that original funding for this project, but the extra $1.3 million to get us over the finish line. This is, we know what situation this wastewater treatment plant is in, and we know where people really enjoy building houses in this community, and that's the Sheet Lake area. So thank you very, very much for your guys' work. I know this is, there's a lot of money out there right now in the ARPA grants, which is why there's a lot of these projects going on around this country. And so I'm sure Mealy and Sons and all the others that we've dealt with in the past aren't really starving for the work. So having those numbers come in the way they did is a gut punch. And the fact that you guys are able to get this together and find a solution that's going to get us what we need for Sheet Lake. Thank you very much. Thank you to the WDA. Thank you to the state for its support. And thank you for you guys for the tireless work to get us to the point where we have a project that we're about to make it go.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's one thing to put the numbers together. It's another thing to take them apart. And so I know that did take a lot of work, and it also took a lot of work developing relationships and the support to get the grants that we need to do this. So I sincerely appreciate that. And second your comments, which brings me, did we get a second?
We did, yeah.
Okay, all right. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Now we have a second motion, and that is to approve the resolution. So may I have that motion?
I move to approve the resolution authorizing the first draw relative to the Sheet Lake wastewater treatment plant project in accordance with the draw schedule attached to the proposed resolution and subject to the approval of the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion, questions? Okay, all in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Now the third motion.
I move to approve the sweep resolution relative to the Sheet Lake wastewater treatment plant project in the form proposed to the board.
Okay, a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, you have that in front of you. All right, all in favor of this motion, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. That takes us to West Ridge.
Well, before we move on, I would like to echo that we really appreciate the support from Marie Prezioso and Sammy G and Kathy Emery and the board of directors of the WDA. It's they saw the need for this project, and they did what they could to help us make it a reality. And that's great.
I think speaking for the board, we all certainly do appreciate the fact that they see fit to help us with these things. I think it speaks well to our quality and the work we do and the management that we have, but also to the fact that we have a nice professional working relationship with these agencies, and we keep that going. So we do appreciate the effort that they share with us for improving the infrastructure in our community. It's very valuable.
And those of us in the Sheet Lake area really appreciate it.
Yes, you do. Good, great.
Yeah, you're fortunately you're a little up the hill, so it wouldn't be anybody first.
You're right.
He knew what he was doing. Okay, next.
Okay, so on West Ridge, Chaplain Hill Water and Sewer Projects, I'm very pleased to report that we received the bid bonds from Snyder and Son today. So those have already been sent to Charleston, I believe.
Not yet.
Oh, not
They came late.
They're in the process.
First thing in the morning.
They're process. It takes
They're processing it.
but they will be there. So we're very excited. Again, that will not start until the spring. That portion of the project, but they needed to get the bid bond to have it. So we're very pleased. The next contract, Bear Contracting. Rich, do you want to give an update on what's going on?
Sure.
with Bear?
This is the water project, and so Bear started construction in mid-October. They started near our existing Chaplain Hill booster station across from Chipotle, and worked up the hill into University Town Center. They've installed around 750 feet of 16-inch PVC to date, and we anticipate having the majority of the water line from the existing booster station to the new booster station installed by November, mid-November.
And it seems like we're going to make that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That work seems to be going really well.
And just remember, we have $1.5 million committed from WDA and ARPA funds for the water project, and $1.5 million for the wastewater project for Chapel.
Again, a great partner.
Yeah.
You want me to move on?
Yeah,
funding from the county as well. On that,
You're right. It's a partnership with us, the county, and with West Ridge.
Great.
On the storage tank is another contract that you guys have already you came through here and approved, but that work on the tank won't start until summer of 2025. On the sewer project, we have started that one as well. Anderson Excavating started mid-October, and they've done one directional drill. They've completed that, about 75 feet of 12-inch force main, and they are working on the second drill, which is about 1,350 feet of force main underneath Chaplain Road at exit 155.
Wow. Fascinating. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I think we're ready to move on to Upper Pocono.
All right.
So our engineering staff, they held a pre-construction meeting with Loretta. We invited representatives from the Mon County Commission and the City of Morgantown to participate as well, since they're financial partners in this project. Kenny Hacker, he is our internal project manager. He's our senior engineer. He has been out with Loretta and their subcontractor that will be removing the trees. And so they've already bought the project area. They've gone through it. Materials are being ordered now. So I think they've already started staking out the project. I
Saw some
believe.
staking today, yeah.
So that's all moving forward. I think it's looking very good that we're going to be able to get the 48-inch line across Stewart Avenue into the existing box. The storm drop is there, so I think that's very promising, and that would allow us to install another one on the corner of Stewart and Idlewood and connect those together. So we'll at least get to that point, which is very promising. And that'll allow for the improvements on Idlewood to be completed as well. Those are future improvements that are going to be done with DOH. Okay. Part of that. So things are I think are moving quickly now.
All right. EPA Brownfields grant.
So we're pretty much everything is done as far as the construction now. Where we did leave the concrete slabs, the floor in place to act as a cap. We're still working with Greenbrier Environmental Group and Reclaim. I think we've just about got that wrapped up, don't we, Rich?
Just wait for the official change order.
So I think we've come to terms on what that deduct will be, and so that's worked out very well.
All right, Coben Creek.
So Coben Creek, this is phase 2 that we're talking about now. This is the part of the line that's going to go through the rest of White Park. We went through the 5G process and selected E.L. Robinson Engineering to design the new gravity sewer that'll go down through the Moses Toyota car lot and underneath Don Knotts Boulevard. And that'll go into our existing lift station. And that will replace the existing sewer line that's in service now. The engineering, design, and construction services are $102,000, and inspection services are estimated to cost approximately $74,000 for a total cost of $176,000. And it's our recommendation to the board that they approve the agreement.
Okay, and have a motion.
I move to approve the agreement between E.L. Robinson Engineering in the amount of $176,000 for engineering services related to the Coven Creek Sewer Interceptor Phase 2 project.
Okay, second.
Second.
Any discussion? All right. All in favor of the agreement between E.L. Robinson Engineering, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. All right, takes us to Oak Court, Briar Patch Lane.
Yeah, so really good news there. The Monongalia County Commission has approved the planned King Courts development. Mr. Biafora, David Biafora, has committed to partner with MUB to complete the off-site stormwater upgrades to serve the new development in the existing neighborhood. So I think we're very excited to get this one moving. Yep. Anything you'd like to
No,
add,
I just think that the way that project will go is all off-site stormwater work will be done first before any work is done on the Biafora site.
Nice.
And so they'll start with the stormwater first, and once it's completely done, then work will begin on his site.
All right, Morgan's Run Road.
Yeah, so we did submit the project to the United States Army Corps of Engineers as a possible funding source, but our project was not approved. However, they did invite us to submit another application, which we're in that process now of putting it together again for another submittal. Try to go back to the well and see what happens, but we're still very hopeful that the West Virginia DEP Abandoned Mine Lands will partner with us as well, because there is documented pre-77 mining.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we're not giving up. We're still pursuing the funding sources.
Good.
We're going back to the well to get them on our water line.
Yeah, exactly.
Rejected.
We'd like it, yeah.
My kid's gonna hate me.
Okay, that brings us to the general manager's report.
Yeah, so I talked about Evansdale sewer lining project. The smoke testing is now completed. We're in the process of ordering materials for manholes that need to be installed, and bid documents are being prepared. So we're moving right along. We expect this project to move in the spring in construction.
Okay.
And Rich, if you want to jump in at any point for free, the office shop asphalt work, we've got the part in the back of the shop that the road is all connected now, and so we expect the parking lot repairs to be in the next couple of weeks. And they don't believe we'll have to close it off or anything. They'll let
You just
traffic
cone
come
off
in
some areas.
Okay,
Weather's cooperating to get it done.
sure
this time.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have this weather very often. Lead and copper service line letters, those went out.
We know.
Oh, did you hear something about that by chance? So we are required to send these letters out by the US EPA, and the language is required language. And the first thing that we want to make sure everyone knows, we have no concerns about lead whatsoever. I mean, MUB has been testing for years, per the guidelines of the EPA. We don't get close to it. We've never been close to an action limit. And so we're very comfortable in saying that we're not worried about it. Nobody should be worried. So we're working with anyone that calls and talking to them. Our main thing is we need to find out what customer service lines are made of. Are they copper? Are they PVC? Are they, what is the material?
And when you say customer service line, you mean between our main and the people, or our meter and the people's house?
Yes, exactly. And if someone doesn't know what it is or they need help, all they need to do is call. And we'll set up an appointment and we'll send a couple of employees out. Rich has been working with his staff, and I think we've got a pretty good system in place, and so we can help anyone that needs the help. But for most people, it's just a very simple: go down with your cell phone, take a picture, email that to MUB. We get that into the file. And we get it documented, and it's not an unknown anymore. We know what that is. And I'm going to take a moment and applaud Tom Witt, because Dr. Witt I believe was the first person in the MUB system to submit a photo and then respond about his service line. So he took it very seriously.
He's a good board member.
Yes.
And what year was your house built?
1987.
Oh, okay.
No problem.
But I had to say, part of the complications in the communication occurs as a result of the county having no building inspection program. If they had a county building inspection program with building codes, we wouldn't have this issue, because it would all be compliant. But people build a house, buy a house, they're not quite sure, because it wasn't required in the county to pass any inspection unless the inspection was taken as a part of the closing of the house when it's conveyed from one buyer from one seller to a buyer.
The other thing is, this was initiated by the federal government, who was addressing issues that had nothing to do with us.
A very badly needed thing that other communities are grappling with.
Yes.
But fortunately, we've had, it's not like we have service lines that are, or transmission lines that are built with this material, and
But it was also interesting that we got flyers in our bills previous to this, in fact, several months previous to this, asking for the same thing. But when it went out as a separate letter, people actually opened and read it. So, we got attention. We'll get some feedback as far as we'll get these responses, which will be very helpful. But I know people were alarmed and were concerned that I have lead in my water, and does MUB test my water, and does MUB test our water? And I understand because the language was not ours, and that can be a bit confusing. But true, the public has an issue. Please contact MUB, and we'll help you resolve your questions. Certainly answer your questions. Okay.
Just to emphasize, we still have a lot of unknowns on the customer side in our system, and we need help. We need help identifying those, and that's what those letters were and bill inserts were, is just asking for the customers to provide us with that information. And so we still are that ask is still out there, and we need all the help we can get. So if the customer hasn't filled out that survey or called in and provided that information, we ask that you please do that.
What percent are we at, Rich? Where do we need to be by what day?
There's no requirement for unknowns.
Okay.
The EPA has a requirement for a lead replacement. If there is lead lines in your system, then you're required to remove a certain percentage every year. But there's no requirement for unknowns. It's just you have to make progress, and we're certainly doing that. Our percentage on the customer side is still pretty low that we have knowns. I would say we've gotten maybe 300, and we have 30,000.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So there were 20,000. I think there were 20,000 unknown letters that went out, and so we have a long way to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so once again, so we know or are confident or believe our system itself, what gets the water from our plant to our meter outside your house, is lead-free.
There are no known lead lines entire system, including customer lines that we've been notified.
And then this letter is all focusing on your house, between your tap and out to the meter, which is not something that MUB would have installed over time. It was something that would have gone in during the
And it's not something that we can just go out and look at because it's private property.
Right.
And so we need the customer's help to do that.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and you can see why a lot of customers have no ID either, and some people don't even know where to find it.
Yeah.
And we can help with that.
Yeah.
As long as they, if they allow us to do that, it'll be quick and easy, and we'll figure out what they have.
Okay, good.
thank you guys for this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very important, and thank you guys for doing it. And I'm glad the public's taking good attention to it, and hopefully we all find it's much ado about something that's happening somewhere else and not here.
True.
And it's so easy to do. I can vouch for that.
Just a little shout out to one of our employees, Mickey Kendall, who's headed up this inventory of all the material service lines. He's done a great job and continues, to work towards getting rid of these unknowns. So he's done a great job.
Okay, good. Thank you, Mickey.
And I think to echo too, Wade Settle. I mean, he's our chief lab guy at the water treatment plant. He goes out and does all the sampling. I think our next round of lead and coppers are 2025, right? So that's coming up next year. We'll be doing those next summer again, system wide, like we do every 3 years. So yeah, those guys get it done.
All right, now we're at board member issues and discussion. So if you have something to bring forward, comments to make, feel free. I think we integrated a lot of it into the process.
I'd like to thank Morgantown City Council for reappointing me. This will be beginning my first full term as a MUB member. I had a 3-year unexpired term that was up last month, and so much appreciated the vote of City Council. The fine gentleman to my left was not there, so he didn't conflict them with telling him how great I am and what an amazing job I did as chair last month.
And you've been sworn in.
Yes, I have been sworn. I've been sworn at and sworn in. I'm very glad now to be serving the start of my first 5-year full term.
Welcome.
We're glad you're here.
Little
Definitely.
works. Little works.
Even if Dave couldn't help you, we're glad you're here.
Or hinder.
Or hinder.
You don't know how hard it was to get him out of town.
All right. Hearing no further comments, we'll move on. Okay, I need an executive session to pursue personnel issues.
I have a revised executive session this evening for the board, and that is because these guys need to. We want to take care of a few personnel matters outside of the general manager evaluation, and these guys can participate and then they can go on.
Okay.
And if you want to pass those down, so.
You want a motion?
Yes.
I need a motion.
I move to convene an executive session of the Board of Directors under the provisions of West Virginia Code Section 6-9A-49B2 and 12 to discuss personnel matters, specifically the annual evaluation of the general manager, as well as and other confidential matters which are exempt from disclosure under the West Virginia Freedom of Information Act.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
And typically we do end the meeting at the end of the executive session, but we will be coming back in, correct?
Yes, we will. Okay, so let's take about a 5-minute break here. Okay, we're reconvening our special meeting to announce the performance appraisal outcome for our executive director, Mike McNulty, and we want everyone to know that the board has agreed that he has exhibited exceptional performance, considering this year was an extremely busy year, a very challenging year, especially for the big projects that we've had going forward and the money that was needed and putting the financing together and getting the staff together to design these things and work with our partnerships, of which there are many, and we're very appreciative to those partnerships, which is one aspect that Mike brings to this job as a very strong part of our success. We have the partnerships that we need to be successful. The product and the service that we have is of quality. We think the highest quality, certainly in the state of West Virginia. The organization is future-oriented. We're always looking at what's ahead of us, where there is possible growth, what the opportunities are for us to provide the infrastructure. And I think we rise to that occasion very well under Mike's leadership. The flexibility that the organization possesses to address the issues that we're faced with is there, and we, as a board, certainly appreciate that as we meet with our public and work with our partnerships. So we have decided Mike has done an exceptional job, continues to do an exceptional job. We're glad he's here. He brought with him a knowledge and experience that's been very valuable to the success of our organization. So Mike is gracious in asking us to provide him with the same pay increase that the employees received, which is a 3% pay increase for the coming year. So with that in mind, again, we appreciate your being with us, having chosen us to work with and to work for and to work in our community. So we're very, very pleased. So other than that, may I have a motion to adjourn?
No. Motion to approve.
Oh, the pay increase, yes. So.
Yeah, I'll move to approve a
please
3%
do.
cost of living adjustment for the general manager and commensurate level of cost of living adjustments that have been made staff-wide for his work here in the past year.
Second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded for the pay increase to go into effect on your anniversary date. So, all in favor? Yes. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I really enjoy it at Morgantown Utility Board.
Good.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.